Good evening, everyone. I'm Gary Bartlett. Straight ahead on Eyewitness News, it is opening night for one of the most highly anticipated movies in years. We will have a live report as moviegoers line up to see The Phantom Menace. Some classes may be slashed this summer, forcing students to find alternatives to making the grade. Plus, a meet and greet rally was a big howl for students and faculty at Tallahassee's newest high school. A few sprinkles are expected to fall tonight. Mike has the forecast, and Randy has high school football. The news starts now.
This is Eyewitness News at 11 on WCTV.
Good evening, everyone. The big night is here. After more than a decade, Star Wars fans are lining up for that silver screen.
Absolutely. The first showing of The Phantom Menace is tonight at midnight in just about 1 hour from now. Laura Martin joins us live now from downtown Tallahassee, where it's all about to get underway. Laura.
Well, Julie and Gary, as you said, the big show will start in about an hour, and already some folks are in their seats waiting to head into a galaxy far, far away. Now, some folks have dressed up for the occasion tonight. There have been some incredible costumes. It is getting kind of loud in here. I hope you can hear me. Joining me now is Steve Lewis. Come on over here, Steve. He has dressed up for the occasion tonight. You are a Darth Maul, Death Maul?
I'm supposed to be Darth Maul, that's correct.
I'm still learning the characters. Now, can you tell me why you came out here tonight?
Well, I've been waiting 16 years to see this movie, and I'd say it's the closest thing to a collective experience that you can experience in a film. So, I'm here with everybody else, all walks of life. We're going to have a good time.
Steve, can you tell me a little bit about your outfit?
Well, of course, I'm not bald like the real Darth Maul, so I didn't think that the film required me to shave my head and glue little horns to my head, but I'm wearing urban camouflage. Not quite accurate, but it's as close as I could get without spending a great deal of money.
Okay, well, thank you, Steve. I'll let you get back to your seat for the big show. Now, some folks got here very early to line up outside the theater, some early this morning, around 6 this morning for The Phantom Menace. Five shows are playing tonight around midnight, and theater managers tell me they are all sold out. Theater managers also told me this is the biggest turnout they've ever had. Six of the 29, shows tomorrow are sold out, but there's still plenty of time to get some tickets. And Julie and Gary, I do have one interesting fact for you. Director George Lucas gave AMC 20 theaters a premiere print, and that's a copy of the negative of the film. It's a real honor. Lucas was so impressed with the advanced ticket sales and the presentation here at the theater.
Laura, are you going to get a chance to sit down and watch the movie tonight?
I think there's maybe a few seats. I'm not sure.
All right.
They're kind of loud tonight.
Have fun.
Yeah, enjoy. Looks like fun. Well, in other news tonight, a notorious gang leader linked to 100 shootings and more than 30 murders in Florida has been captured near Atlanta. Kenneth Booby Williams, the namesake of a drug gang called the Booby Boys, was arrested outside a Clarkston apartment last night. He was alone and unarmed at the time. In addition to the stack of murders and shootings, Booby Williams is wanted for trafficking literally tons of cocaine through Miami. Now, 15 of Booby's alleged gang members have already been arrested. You may recall one of them was picked up in Quincy last October. Suspected hitman Leonard Bo Brown was arrested by deputies after they got a tip that he was visiting family in Gretna. At one point, Brown had actually watched himself on national TV as he was featured on America's Most Wanted.
Customers run for cover as a lone gunman fires shots during a robbery at an easy-serve convenience store on Woodville Highway. It happened around 9:20 tonight. We're happy to report that no one was injured in the incident, but here's what we know about the suspect. Tallahassee police are looking for a black male, approximately 5'10", weighing 150 pounds. He was wearing a blue sweatshirt with the number 68 on it, with brown pants and gold-rimmed sunglasses, carrying a handgun. The suspect took an undisclosed amount of money and was last seen running along Gale Avenue. A perimeter has been set up.
A man accused of killing his girlfriend and throwing her body in a creek will not get any breaks from the Georgia Supreme Court. Michael Mullinax is accused in the murder of 19-year-old Lindsay Strickland of Tallahassee. He had filed an appeal to try to lower his $250,000 bond, saying he'd been detained for more than 90 days without being indicted. But justices ruled that Thomas County Superior Court did not abuse its discretion in refusing to reduce Mullinax's bond. Mullinax has yet to be indicted for Strickland's murder. Both sides blame delays at the crime lab for that.
A Valdosta family can now count 2 sons lost to violence. One man was shot and killed back in 1994, and early this morning his brother died the same way. 24-year-old Willie McKeithen was shot to death outside Speed's game room after an argument inside moved into the parking lot. McKeithen's cousin, DeCarlos Brantley, was also shot. He says McKeithen died trying to save his life.
I took my cousin over here, and he jumped in front of me. The bullet caught him in the throat, in the chest, and the jaw.
Police do not have any solid suspects right now. However, they are talking to witnesses, and they plan to release a composite sketch of the gunman later this week.
Well, every year we hear about how poorly children in Florida are faring. A new report does show some improvement, with Florida jumping 4 notches from a year ago. The National Kids Count report ranks Florida 40th in the country now. Infant mortality and high school dropout rates have improved, but the number of kids living in poverty has jumped 14%, and the number of kids living in single-parent households has surged 24%.
A child in a single-parent household is 6 times more likely to be poor than a child in a 2-parent household. That's a significant challenge which we have as policy leaders and as a state to address.
We do need to mention that the new ranking may be a bit deceiving because it did not factor in juvenile crime. Not all states report that.
A Tallahassee art teacher is getting a big send-off as she vies for the title of Teacher of the Year. Evelyn Pender is one of 5 finalists for the 2000 Florida Teacher of the Year Award. Education Commissioner Tom Gallagher visited her art class today at Kate Sullivan Elementary. Pender says she's happy to be involved with something positive in Florida schools.
Well, I think there's some great things going on in schools in Florida. All we hear is the negatives, and I know that great things are going on with arts and education, and I'm real proud of what we've done in Florida. We're on the cutting edge. Our school's been recognized nationally for what we're doing in the arts.
Pender also received a $5,000 check for her accomplishments. She will travel to Orlando, and the winner will be announced Thursday night.
Summer school classes in Leon County may be in jeopardy this summer. At a workshop tonight, school board leaders discussed cutting some of those classes because lawmakers cut $2 million in funding for class-size summer school and dropout prevention programs. Now, the board is considering cutting 1 semester of summer school or trying to find other programs to cut. The board could make a decision as early as next week.
A campus controversy at a Leon County middle school sparked a tense discussion among school board members tonight. 13 fifth graders from all over the district were accepted to Fairview Middle School's pre-international baccalaureate program. But a month later, they received a letter saying they were not accepted. Some parents were upset, and now the superintendent has reinstated those students to Fairview.
We applied for the program thinking that it would draw from all of the schools, and so that Ross's colleagues, I mean his students that he would be in classes with, would be drawn from all over the entire county. But as it turns out, if they limit the program, his classmates will be limited to just a couple of schools.
The superintendent has recommended another pre-IB program be set up at Nims Middle School. The board will make a decision on that next month.
Well, Leon County's newest high school will open this fall, and today students, teachers, and parents got a chance to get together for the very first time. It's called the Spring Howl. Gene Cox Stadium was the place to be. There were information booths, hamburgers on the grill, and a football scrimmage. In its first year, Childs High will host only freshmen and sophomores. Most of them will come from Raw and Deer Lake Middle Schools, and the freshmen will make the transition from Leon and Lincoln High.
Great day to be outside.
Yeah, coming up next on Eyewitness News, a judge grants a woman shot by her own mother the right to die.
Plus, teenagers speak out for tougher legislation to prevent school violence. We'll have the details on these stories and much more right after we check in with Mike McCall down in the Weather Center with a look at our forecast. Mike, how about it?
I'll tell you what, Gary and Julie, we've got some clouds that have come back, but not much in the way of showers, at least not close. There are some showers on live Doppler 6 radar. We'll tell you where they are and tell you where they're headed coming up in a few minutes.
You're watching Eyewitness News with Julie Montanaro and Gary Bartlett. During Dodge Adventure 99, America's best-selling, most innovative minivan now comes with a $1,000 cash allowance. Or you can choose a vacation package worth up to $1,800 at the new Universal Studios Islands of Adventure theme park in Orlando, Florida. It's the adventure of a lifetime. And we have the rides to prove it. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Crunchy corn cone-shaped bugles. For the taste that's a blast, it's in the bag.
In Florida, there are those who dominate in water and those who dominate on land, like the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee. Because with more power, safety, and luxury than ever before, plus an improved ride, on-road and off, Grand Cherokee is a dominant force in sport utilities. And with a two-wheel drive lease of just $329 a month, you'll have plenty of money left to fill up your tank. Check one out at your Jeep dealer.
A woman on life support ever since her mother allegedly shot her in the head has been granted permission to die.
We begin our Florida focus tonight in Orlando, where Georgette Smith, a quadriplegic now, had gone to court claiming she had the right to be taken off the ventilator that's keeping her alive. Today, a judge agreed with her. Smith's mother, Shirley Egan, shot her after overhearing her daughter talk about sending her to a nursing home. Prosecutors say they will upgrade the charges against Egan from attempted murder to murder if Smith dies.
Detectives in Bradenton are investigating a deadly fire and say it may not have been an accident. 2 adults and 2 children were killed in the blaze, and 3 children were rescued from the burning home. Investigators are calling the fire suspicious and are treating it as homicide. The fire started at 4 o'clock in the morning as the family slept.
A Jacksonville woman is in jail tonight accused of trying to kidnap a newborn baby at a Baptist medical center. Authorities say the plan was thwarted by an alert mother who refused to hand over her baby to a woman posing as a hospital employee. Police say that Angie Marie Martone entered the new mother's room and told her she needed to take the baby downstairs for some tests. Hospital security officers were able to detain Martone until police arrived.
National headlines take us to Port Huron, Michigan, where prosecutors have told a judge today that they are convinced there would have been a mass murder on their hands if they hadn't arrested 4 teenagers last week. The students were plotting a shootout at their middle school and hoped that it would be bigger than the massacre at Columbine High in Colorado. Police say that a 12- and 13-year-old are the masterminds of the deadly plot. All of the boys are being held on $100,000 bond. If convicted, they could spend the rest of their life in prison.
In Washington, D.C., teenagers took the floor of the U.S. House today, some of them recounting moments of horror when gunmen opened fire at their schools. One of the students survived the shooting in Springfield, Oregon, another in Paducah, Kentucky. Congress is grappling with a juvenile crime bill. Some say they won't pass any legislation that doesn't include barring those under 18 from buying guns.
An Indiana toddler has become the first person in the United States to have a cow's neck valve transplanted in his heart. 13-month-old Ryan Dottie traveled to Indianapolis from his home near Evansville to undergo the procedure at Riley Hospital for Children back on May 4th. Ryan has been breathing on his own since Thursday night, and the prognosis looks good according to his cardiothoracic surgeon. A big word for such a little boy there.
Yeah,
good luck. Up next on Eyewitness News, those suntan days are expected to continue as we look forward to the weekend already. Mike McCall has the details.
Plus, one of your insurance policies may help you attain a more comfortable retirement. We'll explain in today's Consumer News. Please stay with us.
Mike McCall's Doppler 6 weathercasts have the seal of approval of the American Meteorological Society.
The big plans for Memorial Day weekend. Do you spend it at the company picnic, cleaning up the yard, or driving your brand new Nissan Frontier that you got at Nissan's big pre-Memorial Day sales event? Now you can pick up a Nissan Frontier
with a value truck package
that includes these great features and $1,100 in package savings.
Plus $1,000 cash back.
For $2,100 total savings on Nissan Frontiers, but only till June 1st.
Life is much more challenging when you're deaf. It's hard to ask questions when signing is your way of communicating. I'm lucky to at least have partial hearing and the ability to sign. And the best thing about being able to sign is being able to make someone's day a little bit easier.
It's the oven torch. Think of the tips.
Right, pizza boy! There's a better way to deliver oven-fresh pizza. The Domino's Heat Wave. It's like a portable oven for the best tasting Domino's ever.
Now at Domino's, get a medium ultimate deep dish pizza with up to 3 of your favorite toppings for just $8.99. Just $8.99. Add a second pizza for only $4.99. Call Domino's now.
This one works. I'll take it.
Try this on for size. Badcock has this Whirlpool 22 cubic foot refrigerator priced to move at $999.95. Badcock, you'll feel right at home.
A small tornado ripped through Tampa today. Fortunately, there were no injuries reported. Meteorologist Barry Goldsmith with the National Weather Service says that small spin-up tornadoes such as this one can form in just a matter of minutes and wreak incredible damage. He says that a westerly sea breeze and a thunderstorm to the east contributed to the formation of the storm. The tornado died just about as quickly as it started, but you can see some overturned trucks there and untold damage to homes and property. Fortunately, nothing like that headed for our direction.
But that is a typical Florida tornado. They're usually small. They last just 3-5 minutes tops, and nothing like what you see out in Oklahoma and Kansas and Tornado Alley. So that certainly will take those over the big mile-wide twisters that they see in the Midwest. But yeah, quiet as could be. But some clouds have come back, and that's kept the temperatures up tonight. 72 degrees right now in Thomasville, 74 in Tallahassee, with the humidity at 73%, a rising barometer, 30.01, and a west wind at 8 miles per hour. Start out this morning very comfortable, mid to upper 50s into the low 60s, some mid 60s down along the coastal areas, 64 from Dothan to Mariana down to Apalachicola, but in the 50s for Thomasville and Tallahassee. And then daytime highs starting to look more like summertime. Valdosta and Cross City both topping out at 90 degrees compared with the very pleasant 80 down at Apalachicola. The next couple of days we're going to be in the upper 80s, right around 90, and the best chance of rain probably going to come tonight and the first half of tomorrow, and even that only about 20%. The current numbers out there, and you can see the effect the clouds have had in the low to even mid-70s. Valdosta still a very steamy 77 at this hour. With the clouds come in, I don't think overnight lows are going to drop much lower than the mid-60s. And maybe a slight chance for a shower, but if you look up towards the northwest, behind this frontal system, it doesn't get much cooler. 67 in Birmingham and a 66 in Montgomery. The rest of Georgia and Florida all sitting in the 70s, except for Jacksonville with a very comfortable 65. All right, where's the rain coming from? Well, first of all, you can watch the thunderstorms. You just saw the tornado damage down in Tampa. Typically, when the sea breeze from the east coast meets the one from the west coast, you see some moderately strong thunderstorms that can spawn up a little brief tornado. But for us, it's a cold front bringing some showers and storms. Now, initially, this line was moving towards the east. A piece of it kind of broke off and is moving now towards the south. I think it's going to stay far enough away that it's not going to hit much, if any, of our viewing area. We'll come back, have a look at live Doppler 6 radar and your forecast right after this.
Among the vast array of transportation options, some of the greatest can be found here. The Chrysler and Plymouth minivans. From the luxurious Chrysler Town & Country to Voyager, America's lowest priced minivan with air and room for 7. We've got America's largest choice of minivans. Chrysler, we made the minivan what it is today. Now get $1,000 cash allowance or 1.9% APR on any Chrysler minivan.
Temperatures around the U.S., there's some of the cooler ones, but they're so far away, they're not going to make it our direction. 55 for Billings and 57 in Minneapolis. But in the 60s and 70s and still 91 out in Phoenix. Many areas of the desert Southwest got over 100 degrees this afternoon. Now, the big thunderstorms of yesterday, we're just seeing a few of those today, stretched out from the eastern sections of the Ohio Valley, right down along the Tennessee-North Carolina border, and down to southeastern Alabama. And those are the showers that actually made it into the western sections of the Panhandle, but unfortunately they're moving kind of south and not showing a whole lot of progress toward the east. Just a piece that's kind of broken off. You can see most of the energy with the system will be up here in the Carolinas, but the clouds have arrived, so we'll see that during the overnight period and a slight chance for some showers. There you see the cold front and the little area of showers associated with it, but most of it dries up. We may see an isolated shower overnight or during the first half of tomorrow, and that's probably about it. Once the front goes by, we start to dry back out. Now, Doppler 6 radar on the live scan, looking around the region. Now, again, nothing in Thomasville, Tallahassee, even out to the Apalachicola River. But further west, from around Dothan down to, say, Defuniak Springs, Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, that's the area of showers. But it's drifting almost due south. It's trying to make some progress, but I don't think it's going to make it much past the Apalachicola River, even if it makes it that far. so at most just an isolated sprinkle overnight. Headed out on the water tomorrow. Variable winds becoming southerly by afternoon at 5 to 12 knots with Gulf seas about 1 to 2 feet. Smooth to a light chop on the bays and inlets. So we'll call it mostly cloudy now. Temperatures only in the mid-60s for an overnight low. And then tomorrow, partly sunny, maybe an isolated thunder shower, perhaps even in the morning hours. By mid-afternoon, we start to dry up. See a daytime high around 88. And speaking of dry, look at the rain chances for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Not expecting any. Daytime highs around 90 degrees. Morning lows at least comfortable, right around 60 degrees. So for that early morning cup of coffee, you can still go outside and enjoy it. It's not quite like July or August just yet.
Very comfortable, yeah, especially for those high schoolers who are thinking about football already.
Indeed. Particularly comfortable at night. High school football lighting up the night air. We're going to check in on the Cowboys, Bulldogs, Eagles, and Tigers next in sports.
You're watching Eyewitness News with Randy Ruditz and the sports. In Florida, there are those who dominate in water and those who dominate on land, like the all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee. Because with more power, safety, and luxury than ever before, plus an improved ride, on-road and off, Grand Cherokee is a dominant force in sport utilities. And with a two-wheel drive lease of just $329 a month, you'll have plenty of money left to fill up your tank.
Check one out at your Jeep dealer.
There's a reason why Colonial Premium Honey Wheat Bread is so delicious. And why Colonial Premium Stone Ground Wheat tastes so good. It's because any bread is only as good as its ingredients. And the ingredients in every variety of Colonial Premium are the best you can get. Colonial is good bread.
Got a problem? Put out a red alert. The Sprint First Source phone book is there. With 24-hour-a-day answers to everyday problems, the First Source is the first red.
Where would you go in a Honda four-wheel drive CR-V? Would you climb Mount McKinley? Would you swim with dolphins? Would you sleep under the stars? Would you wrestle with a river? Would you search for lost civilizations? Would you find the perfect wave? Or would you go for a really thrilling video? The Honda four-wheel drive CR-V, prepared for anything you are.
Good evening, everyone. Knowles and the Rattlers ended spring football drills last month. Now the high schools are wrapping it up. Head to North Florida Christian's Jamboree. Pick it up game 2, NFC taking on Taylor County. Eagles up 7-zip, but Bulldogs coming back. Justin Knowles play fake and then lost the pass to Kevin Wright. He was the right one. Brought it down. We're tied at 7. Eagles striking back. Robert Kraft, the handoff to Ernie Sims. Turns the corner, and you know what? He's got the nose for the zone. NFC cruises in game 2, 27-8. Game 3, Wakulla taking on Jefferson County. First play from scrimmage. Warren Butler almost loses control of the ball. Gains control, fires downfield to a wide-open Zachary Norton. That's 70 yards. Tigers on top, 7-0. But here comes Wakulla. Matt Garrell, the handoff to Emery Baker, and he's going right up the gut. 27 yards, almost finds the zone. He's brought down from behind to the Tiger 5-yard line. A couple plays later, Garrell takes it over from the 1. We are tied at 7. However, the Tigers eke out a very close 21-20 victory. I guess you can't get any closer than that. Well, it's California, here I come for FAMU softball. The Rattlerettes received an automatic tournament bid on Sunday. Today they loaded up for the long plane trip to California. FAMU's opening game Thursday. Their opponent, the defending national champs from Fresno State, who is considered a favorite to repeat. The Dogs enter with a 60-8 record. Game time 10:30 p.m. It's double elimination, so FAM is assured of at least 2 chances to make an impression. This team contends they will not be intimidated.
We feel that they should be intimidated by us. We don't have anything to lose. We're going into this tournament just to play our game, let people know who we are. They're the ones that have to defend their titles. We don't have anything to lose. Just show who we are.
I'm really going out there to win it all. I'm not that type of mentality where, oh, no, they have such a good record. We can't do it. I'm not a pessimistic person. I'm very realistic, and I'm sure we can do whatever we set our mind to.
Florida State baseball begins postseason play tomorrow in Durham, North Carolina. The Noles will open ACC tournament play against Maryland Wednesday at 1:30. The top-seeded Noles will try to avoid a repeat of '98's shocking tournament upset.
Last year, breezing through the tournament and then getting beat in the finals 2 games in a row, it really left a bitter taste in my mouth up there. And I'd really like to go up there and win an ACC ring.
It's the first step in making it all the way to Omaha. So we got to go out there and do well in the ACCs. Hopefully we can get a little stone rolling down that hill and just carry it on into regional.
Thomasville High plays for a state title this week. The 26-6 Bulldogs will host Harlem in a best-of-3 series beginning Thursday. Thomasville's never won a state baseball title. In fact, 5 years ago, it looked as if Thomasville never would. The Dogs went 2-18. My, how times have changed.
Don't pinch me. I don't want to wake up. I'm enjoying the moment. It's been great, and I'm hoping that that this is a success we're going to have here in the future. Here, it's amazing. The feeling is unbelievable.
To the NBA, we wondered if New York would be able to bounce back after that emotional series with the Heat. We are not wondering anymore. Does Pat Ewing look like he's lacking any enthusiasm? New York actually looked like they had the fresh legs tonight, off and running. Charles up court to Allen Houston. Houston and Fuego, he lit up Atlanta for 34. Meanwhile, Latrell Sprewell came off the bench, added his brand of synergy to the Big Apple attack. Spree, two-handed flush, he had 31. New York takes game 1, 100-92. To Salt Lake City, one of the most athletic teams in the league, Portland, playing one of the older teams, Utah. Karl Malone and company tested in round 1 by Sacramento. Got to wonder if they were leg-weary. Portland striking first, Grant over Malone. Later, Stockton's pass swiped. Grant again doing the honors. So sweet. But the Jazz not backing down. They are just starting to warm up. 3-on-1 break. Russell the finish. Jazz, though, trailing the Blazers 30-21. To Beantown, where the Red Sox were intent on spoiling Joe Torre's return after that bout with prostate cancer. Going to be difficult to get a win tonight for New York. Pedro Martinez on the hill. The Major League strikeout leader brought his good stuff to the ballpark. Joe, good to have you back, but good pitching beats good feelings every night. Martinez, 11 Ks. Red Sox win it 6-3 to Atlanta. Braves hosting the Pirates. Rain delayed the start of things, but by the third, the Braves' bats were starting to warm up. Chipper Jones, 2-out Tater to center. Chipper's 9th of the season. Braves in front, 3-1. Ahead to the 4th. You know whose turn it is? Well, it's Ryan Klesko doing the honors. A solo shot made it 4-1 Braves. Atlanta sticking it to the Pirates. It's now 12-2, top of the 9th. Checking the Fish and Game forecaster. UC 6:30 in the p.m. is prime time. At track tonight, it was the 1 and the 4, paid 78-10. Couple other notes, or one other note about 2 people. Canseco and Griffey both have homered tonight, so they share the Major League lead with 15 home runs.
12-2, top of the 9th. Not much chance there, is there, Randy?
No.
Never say never, though, right?
No, Coach.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll be back after this.
This Eyewitness News program is closed captioned as a public service of McDonald's and WCTV.
So now, Bill, how do you go about buying one of these things? Is there a showroom? You watch the ads?
No, ma'am. They're all custom built.
Oh, sounds pricey. No sales or incentives, huh?
It doesn't work that way.
No, see, I only mention that because your Ford dealer has a pretty great offer right now.
Get $1,500 cash back or a $199 a month lease on a new '99 Escort now.
Quite a deal.
Yeah, well, I won't rub it in. So what, these dice just go round and round in a circle?
See your Southern Ford dealer today and drive away in a new Escort.
I have been extremely nearsighted. I had started having trouble with keratitis, getting the eye infection from my contacts. I chose Dr. Sugar to perform the LASIK surgery to correct my nearsighted vision. I felt very comfortable with Dr. Sugar. He always listened and reassured me and made me feel real comfortable with what I was going to do. I feel that this was one of the smartest choices I've made in my life, and I would definitely recommend Dr. Sugar to do any surgery of this type.
Among the vast array of transportation options, some of the greatest can be found here. The Chrysler and Plymouth minivans. From the luxurious Chrysler Town & Country to Voyager, America's lowest priced minivan with air and room for 7. We've got America's largest choice of minivans. Chrysler. We made the minivan what it is today. Now get $1,000 cash allowance or 1.9% APR on any Chrysler minivan.
Today's Consumer News on Eyewitness News is brought to you by Alltel.
If your parents are retired or they're getting ready to retire and they're worried about how much money they'll have, ask them about their life insurance.
Do they have policies they may no longer need that could be turned into cash for spending or investing? Kiplinger shows you how one retired couple is making that money work for them in today's Consumer News.
George Lee retired about 4 years ago with the idea that he and Mary would get along fine on Social Security, money from his pension, plus income from a small collection of conservative investments. It wasn't enough.
I began to realize that that money I had to grow. It had to grow.
So the Lees cashed in a life insurance policy bought years ago to protect their 3 sons. With the kids grown up and out of the house, they can now take the cash, about $68,000, and put it to work in more aggressive investments. Kiplinger editor Kim Langford says they were smart to get advice from a financial planner first, so they knew about the downside.
The